Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me for this week's Weekly Wisdom. Over the next couple of weeks, we are going to be talking about the Great Resignation. What is it? What industries is it hitting the hardest? What's going to happen? And most importantly, as a leader, what can you do about it? So let's talk about what is the Great Resignation. We've been hearing a lot of information over the past, 5 or 6 months about the Great Resignation. Well, one of the things that's important is whenever you are hearing about this, pay attention to the headlines. Is it that there's a mass exodus of people leaving, or there's a mass exodus of people thinking of leaving? So there's a big difference between the two. Yes, resignations have been higher than they have ever been, and there's been a lot of correlation between the pandemic and everything that we went through over the past couple of years. But there's also information showing that in 2019, resignations were the highest that they had been since. And the other piece is that the Department of Labor has only been tracking resignations since 2000. So we don't have a ton of information to go by. So as we look, we realize that there is a mass exodus happening in certain industries. We are going to have an entire week dedicated to hospitality and what is happening in hospitality. But let's break it down in the numbers. So just across the board, 4 million Americans quit in August of 2021. It's pretty high compared to what it has been in the past. Now, most of the people that resigned were in their mid-career. They're actually showing that the highest resignations are happening between the ages of 30 and 45. You see, there's a certain privilege to being able to resign. You have more financial security, ability to find a job faster, things like that. Ages 20 to 25, minus the hospitality industry, has shown lower resignations. Many people are thinking it's because they don't have the same financial security as the higher words are hard, y'all, as the higher generations. Now, most of the resignation, minus hospitality, has taken in healthcare and technology. So look around. We're hearing a lot about the Great Resignation, and it's something that we need to react to because our employees are demanding. They are no longer asking, they are demanding change. And I say hooray for them. We need to demand change. Things need to adjust. They need to shift. For far too long, we have been doing crazy, wacky things that did not make any sense. And now employees are saying, you know what, this isn't okay. We're not going to keep being okay with this. But at the same time, before we panic, we need to look around and ask ourselves, what is actually happening? What am I seeing with my employees? What am I seeing in my organization? Am I seeing people who are growing and stepping into the next version of themselves? Or am I seeing people fleeing just as quickly as they can? So take temperature of where you are and your employees. Don't just react to the news. And when you're taking temperature, have some conversations. Don't ask if people are looking for a different job. That's probably not going to start the conversation in the way that you'd want it to go. Let them know you've been doing a lot of research into the Great Resignation. You value what they bring to the company, and you would like to ask them, is there anything that they need from you? Is there anything that you can be doing better? You should be having these conversations all the time as a leader, but right now they're super important as well. And then the other piece, y'all know I'm a huge fan of accountability. Look at your accountability measures. Are you holding your team accountable to be the best version of themselves as a team? Or are you letting people get away with things that they shouldn't be getting away from because you're just so scared to lose them? Have a real conversation with yourself. A players do not want to work with C players. And what happens as leaders, whenever we're allowing behavior that we know we shouldn't allow, we tend to rely a lot more heavily on our A players, which makes them burn out and leave. So check on your people, have some brave conversations, and look at your accountability. Are you holding your team accountable in a professional and respectful way across the board to where everybody understands what the expectations are? All right, so we will be back next week where we will host a special edition of The Great Resignation, specifically for the hospitality industry. And y'all know my background in hospitality, and let me tell you, I have some opinions. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful week. And don't forget, as always, you got this. I'll see you next week.